Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I haven't done a video in a little while, a full review video, and I want to get back into doing that more often. I'm going to try to pump out a few more this weekend and get that going. Today's video is actually on this BuckLite 422, and this is the Eagle scrimshaw. It's actually it's a limited edition. Um, this knife here was actually one of my viewers saw this in my buck collection and really liked it and wanted me to do a full review on it. So I'm gonna try to get a pretty good review on it today. But again, this is the BuckLite 422, model number 422, Eagle scrimshaw. Okay, and this knife actually stopped being produced in the mid 90s, and it started being produced in the 80s. I believe it might have been the mid 80s when this knife was first produced by Buck, and like I said, stopped mid 90s. But anyways, this is a 1987 model, and you might be able to see right there the Buck 422, and that sideways V is that's the the date code for 1987. You can look that up on Buck's tank stamp chart, and obviously it's made in the USA. So yeah, this knife here, this actually is the same, basically the same knife as the Buck 112. Okay, so it has this knife that we all know right here, the Buck 112. This is basically, it's all the same pretty much dimensions. It's just it's a much lighter version, and it's actually a strong, very strong version. And I'm talking about this one here. It's a very strong version, with those handles, and I'll get into that in a minute. But they made the Buck 422 after the Buck 112, and the 422 was just the BuckLite version. So just a quick comparison here. As you can see, they are the same size. Right about the same size. So if you're familiar with the Buck 112, your BuckLite's going to be the same dimensions. Little backstory real quick. So I got this knife, this 422, actually when I started collecting. When I first got involved with collecting knives, I started collecting Buck knives, and one of my first knives that I collect from Buck was actually the Buck 112. Was this knife here that, like I said, we all know. That was the first knife that I got when I started collecting. Then I got a few different knives in between, the Buck 110 and so on and so on. And a couple months later, I actually went on to eBay, and I was looking for something a little different, something something the collector would get, something that interested me. And I seen this, and when I seen it, not only is it beautiful, but it actually is like I said, a 1987, which to me that year, I love collecting Bucks, 1987 Buck knives. So I really got a good knife when I got this one. It was the year that I wanted, and it was also just a beautiful knife. I love it with the eagle in the woods in the background. Just a really nice knife. They actually make two versions of this. There's one version with the one eagle, and there's another version, and it has two eagles. Okay, so I think the other eagle is on this side, and there's another one here, and then there's the one with just the one. This is the one that I found. I didn't even know this at the time, that there was two different versions, but this is the one that I found on eBay, and that I really was just like, that's beautiful, I'm going to get that. But anyways, that's the little bit of a backstory. So this was one of the first knives that I actually got when I started collecting knives. But yeah, so this knife was produced back in 1987. It's actually it's kind of rare. Like I said, it's a limited edition. So anywhere, if you look online, you can look like, you know, Buck 422 Eagle Scrimshaw. You're gonna see limited edition, and they're far and few in between. I mean, you can get them. You can definitely get them. I'm not trying to say they're that rare, but they're just not. You know, there were so many. There were just so many of them made. Um, I wanted to talk a little bit about. Let me see. This actually was first. I have the year here. It was first introduced in 1984. The BuckLite, and I'm not even talking about the scrimshaw. Just the BuckLite was first introduced in 1984, and it like I said, it was modeled after the 110. I mean the 112. I'm sorry, it was modeled after the 112. Very similar. So as you can see, you have that same clip point blade. And because of the year, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but because of the year, you can actually see the swedge on this is actually longer than the newer 112. And I hope that shows up on camera, but see the swedge at the top here? That's actually it's a longer swedge. Starts way back here and it comes way out, where this one is shorter. And I believe that's just because of the year. I'm not sure what blade steel Buck was using back in 1987. It could be, you know, it could be the 428C, or it could be the 4. I don't know. You guys can maybe tell me that in the comments what type of steel they were using in 1987. But anyways, back to the knife. So this is a discontinued model, as I said. This is a very popular collectible knife. I was watching reviews on this knife actually, and a lot of people were talking about just the BuckLite in general. So not, like I said, not necessarily with the scrimshaw, but just this BuckLite, because they have versions of this where it's just all black. It doesn't have any you know, drawings on the blade or anything like on the handle, and it was just called the BuckLite. And it was a lighter version. The 422 was a lighter version of the 112, and it was very popular in the 80s and early 90s amongst the military and also Boy Scouts and things like that. I was seeing a lot of reviews online where guys had talked about that they had this knife, you know, in the military back in the 80s, and just how strong it is. It's a very strong knife from what a lot of people were saying, and I can tell you just from holding this knife that this material here is actually called Vilox. If I got that right, let me just make sure. It's called Vilox or Velox. I think it's Vilox, and what it is a polyester resin for this material, and it's very strong, very strong. So some guys are talking about they had this knife for, you know, 25 years, and they were using it for like 25 years, and it's still as strong as the day that they got it. So this Velox here is it's a light but strong, very strong with material. Like I said, it's a polyester resin. And yeah, they were just talking how they've been using it for 25 years, and the knife is still going strong. And you know, with Buck quality, especially back then, and now too, Buck's doing a great job with their quality control. But you know, Buck, they make great knives. This knife here, for example, I'm only using one hand, but this has no blade play at all. You hear the snap? The snap on that is great. There's no blade play on this knife. There's no wobble. For being a 35-year-old knife, it's in, I would say, close to mint condition. I can't really find anything wrong with it. I mean, there might be, you know, a couple small scuffs or something like that, but like right there. But mostly this is in mint, pretty close to mint condition. But yeah, it still has that snap. It yeah, it's a Buck knife. It's one that, you know, like I said, people have been carrying forever, and just it doesn't fail them. But yeah, so that's basically the review I wanted to do today. This is the 422. They also made a version that was similar to the 110, and I'm trying to find that the model number for the one that was close to the 110. Let me see if I can do that. So that was actually, anyways, they made another BuckLite version that was longer, okay, and it was like the 110, but there was a different model number. As I said, this is the Buck 422. I can't remember the model number, though the BuckLite that looked like the 110. If you guys remember, let me know down in the comments, or I'll post it down there after this video. But yeah, just a older 1987 BuckLite. It's you know, the year that I like, and really nice, just a really nice knife with the finger grooves, and they really do fit in your hand perfect. When you look at, I mean, when you feel this knife here, it just fits perfect in your hand. If I was using this as an everyday carry, I would be totally good with it. I could definitely EDC this knife, which of course I'm not going to do that. This is you know, this is in my collection. I wouldn't EDC this, but if I was to, I could tell that it would be a great everyday carry. But yeah, just wanted to do a kind of a quick review today of this BuckLite Eagle Scrimshaw 422. And before I go, just a couple comparisons of other knives that are kind of in a similar range. Here's an older. This is a Buck here, and this model number is, let's see, 450. Yeah, 450. All right, this is older. They don't make this. Buck no longer makes this knife. But this is kind of similar. Different material here. This is a rubber, kind of a rubber material. And, you know, the Buck 112 that we all know. And this knife they're making today. So this is the Buck 110. And this is the LT, meaning the light version. Ignore this. I put the thumb stud on there myself. So I purchased that and put it on there. But you can get this knife today. This is the Buck LT, which I believe just, you know, is short for light. But anyways, yeah, this you can still get today. And I would say this is the most similar to a BuckLite with the handle material. It's not Velox. Now they're using, what is it, the FRN, the reinforced nylon. So these are two different materials, but they kind of feel similar. They really do. This is, you know, the Velox is a plasticky material, and this is also a plasticky material. You know, you can find these on eBay, the BuckLites. You may be able to even find this exact you know, this exact knife that I have, but I'm sure you could find the BuckLites on eBay if that's something you're looking for, the 422 models. But if you're looking for something similar that you can get pretty much anywhere today, I would say it would be the Buck either 110 or 112 LT, which, like I said, this is still available. So yeah, guys, just wanted to do a quick video today on that, and I'm going to be putting out some more videos in the next couple of days. I appreciate all the comments that you guys have, and you know, please share the video. I'm trying to get this video really, this channel really going here. I want to buy some new knives to review, and yeah, share the video, like the video, subscribe if you haven't. Check out, if you're new here, check out some of my other videos that I have. I got a bunch of other videos posted. I have a bunch of shorts, but I also have other videos. I'm trying to get away from the shorts a little bit and get back to the videos and the reviews of knives. And but yeah, so, you know, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be making a video real soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.